Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. How you doing? You guys already know, if you're new to the page, you know to go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. So today we're going to talk about stocks, and then I'm going to mention something about crypto at the very end. All right. If you are in crypto, just get your stuff off the exchanges. But let's go into stock because I've talked a lot about crypto. So stock market, there's a lot of actually potentially good news to happen in the stock market. And if you're just in crypto, you need to hear this full video. Right. So listen, with the stock market, remember, don't fall for spam. Even the spammers are getting spammed. OK. And remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, but it's definitely stuff for you to think about. But listen, the geopolitical situation is actually ratcheting down, right? Meaning it has a potential to get better. That's huge for the stock market. It's huge for energy and all of this. The war between the Ukraine and Russia, okay, should I say Russia and Ukraine, is starting to ratchet back a little bit. It's not in no ways over, but it's starting to ratchet down a little bit. That is a good sign. That will actually help the stock market. That's one of the things that's really good. And then on Monday, which is tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Sunday, our president is going to meet with China's president. All right. Biden is going to meet with President Xi. So there's supply chains issues because China has a zero COVID tolerance that they are beginning to relax, okay? Starting with travel, international travel. So just think about international travel. It has affected companies like Disney, and it has affected companies like Apple. You got to think about that. Tesla. So that meeting could potentially be a very good catalyst for stocks. Right. So you know how this thing goes. They're going to get together and they're just going to initially talk about what they talked about. There isn't going to be any, I don't believe it's going to be any solid, concrete answers, because it's a long process. OK, if he says the meeting was good, that is another positive catalyst for the stock market, entire stocks. All right. Then mostly. So we had, I believe it was a Boston state by state Fed was cautioning Jay Powell, the Fed chair, to say, don't overdo it. Don't go aggressive. That's actually good. That's actually very good for the stock market. I believe that happened just yesterday. Remember, you have all of these state by state Feds that keeps talking that actually move markets also, right? Remember what Bullard did to the stock market with a hawkish talk. Now, if we have more state by state Fed come out and start sounding dovish, meaning less aggressive, for those of you that don't know, hawkish is more aggressive, meaning they're going to raise interest rates higher. But now they're saying they're more dovish. OK, and so we don't know if Jerome Powell will heed that word, but it is good for the state by state Fed to be saying that now. And if they all collectively say it, then that's going to be positive for the stock market because it would put pressure on Jerome Powell to not continue the aggressiveness. OK, so you got a lot of positive things happening for the entire stock market. And if you look at CPI, the next CPI number, I believe is December 13th. Remember, December 13th, 7:30 Chicago time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. OK, and so that's AM. And so that's when the December CPI numbers will come out for November. Right. So that's when the next one is. Again, leading to a potential Christmas rally, which I still believe, even with everything that's going on, I still believe that we are lining up for a good Christmas rally. OK, and some people ask, well, what does that mean for crypto? If all of this FUD, if all of this foolishness hadn't happened with FTX, it would have been really good for crypto. But crypto is setting up to trade sideways for about 2 years now. And I believe that because of this FUD, I'm different than most. I think that this crypto winter will only last about a year. I believe that it's in the accumulation state, and you'll be able to accumulate all of 2023-ish, okay? Most of 2023-ish. So back to the stock market. A lot of good plays to be made, a lot of good money to be made in this rally, okay? So, but like I've been saying, here's what changes it all. It's the Fed, the Fed, the Fed. The Fed actually still can avert a recession. I want to say that again. He still can avert a recession, meaning he could cause a recession not to come. All right. It's easy for him to cause a recession. All he has to do is keep being hawkish or aggressive on the interest rate hikes and the quantitative tightening. But he said something in the last FOMC meeting that I could quickly reverse that. So he's not worried about over tightening, because if he sees that it is affecting the stock market in too much of a negative way, he said he can reverse it, which to me means that he's going to probably start printing more money and quantitative easing. Okay. And so that's what I see it is. So he said he can reverse it real swiftly, but we don't need him to push it to that point. If he starts to see that he's behind in reading the data, meaning if CPI keeps getting less and less and less, keeps coming down, that means that inflation has already peaked and is cooling off. Now, it's not cooling off a lot, only a little, but that's all we needed. That's all the stock market needed to see, because remember, the stock market is forward looking. All right. So that would be great. And then we will literally, I believe that we will be in an incline in the stock market. But if not, so if he doesn't do that and do the other, which is the worst, and continue with his hawkishness, then I believe 100% that we will see a harder, deeper recession in the first half of 2023. I see the S&P getting down to 32, 31, 30, S&P 500, if he's too aggressive. All right. So it's all on the Fed, good people. And so that's what we have to watch out for. I mean, what a wonderful thing he could do because he was so far behind on interest rates and on inflation. Now he's overdoing it the other way. So those are the good things that are set to happen for the stock market. So you can make your plays accordingly. But remember, anything could change at the drop of a hat. The geopolitical situation could ramp up and change, start talking nuclear, the China-American relations could go bad. And, I'm just giving you all of the ifs. So if I change, it's because these situations change. Okay. So just because I say something right now, everything looks good. It looks like it's more positive than negative. So that's how I'm planning. So I'm going to say something to the crypto people right now. For those of you that see that, this is so crazy, everything that's happening with FTX and Binance, the way Binance hung FTX out to dry, but it was all Sam Bankman-Fried's fault. I would say, if you have all of your money, I'm going to say this. If you've cashed out anything and you're thinking about putting all of your money back into crypto, I would suggest putting some of it, over half of it right now, into stocks. And because of what happened with FTX, it changed all of crypto. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. I believe that you'll make money in stocks quicker. And I believe that you need to be more diversified anyway. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. And being diversified protects your money. It just does. Because a stock portfolios or brokerages, they are governed. They have to follow rules. and they have to follow stringent rules, and they can't do this stuff that's allowed in with crypto. They just can't. Well, I'm also going to tell you that make sure you watch the video that's going to come in this box, even if you don't have crypto, so you can see exactly what's going on. Hey, good people. Got to my destination and forgot to do something positive. Hey, for those of you that don't know, I get Inspirational on Sunday's videos. So if you're just here for stocks, then you could go ahead and sign off right now. But I'm just going to take a minute and a half and tell you, treat people the way that you would like to be treated. Any waitress that have ever served me, I will tell you, I have some waitresses. I have some restaurants, and I mean probably a dozen. I know I eat out a lot. I shouldn't. But when I walk in, waitresses fight over me. And you know why? Because I treat them like gold. You can literally take 5 minutes and change someone's world. Literally. Just think about this. There's some people that are going home. They have abusive spouses. Their parents telling them they're no good. They won't amount to anything, like one of my grammar school teachers did. And then you could meet somebody in 1 to 5 minutes, change their lives. You might be the only time that they get a positive reaction. The people that just waited on them could have just treated them and talked to them like trash, like I've seen some people do. Please, good people, never do that to people that work in the service industry, whatever service industry it is. Don't treat people like trash. Treat people the way you want to be treated, okay? So that's the word for today. Change somebody's life, even in the 5 minutes that you have, okay? Tell them they appreciate it. You may be the only one in the entire year that tell them I appreciate you or I love you, okay? All right, guys, be cool on the I love you to the women, all right? I know you're trying to get their phone number, but you guys know what I'm saying. Make sure you check out the video in the corner, all right? Love you guys. Have a blessed week. Live, love, laugh, and learn.